Welcome to this episode of FunRover TV, where we'll be taking a look at a unique TD5 Defender fitted with its very own pizza oven. So with me I've got Simon Walker, who owns this Land Rover. Simon, it's an awesome Land Rover. It's really cool.
Thank you.
What made you choose Land Rover? Why not a transit van or something else?
Just pure convenience of the vehicle, and at the end of the day, because I'm out on the road and I'm getting booked to kind of go here, there and everywhere, I don't actually know where I'm going to be. I actually thought about having a trailer at first, but then I thought there's that sort of thing about the logistically that wasn't going to be convenient to leave the trailer there while I go and park somewhere, or there's sometimes you go to an event and you've got to take your cars off site. But really I've got the best of both worlds, because this is my office and I can drive it off site straight away, so it's and as I say, with the terrain, as I say to people,
mud, snow, rain, shine,
absolutely,
you'll be there.
Yeah, probably before they are actually.
Very good. How long have you had your Land Rover then, now roughly?
I've had the Land Rover since March last year, so it's just coming up to 12 months.
So yeah, you've nearly had it a year to get kind of your opinions formed. What do you think to Land Rovers? Are you a fan of them?
I am a fan of Land Rovers. I mean, as I say, I've never really been a petrol head, so I'm not a die-hard petrol engine, look under the bonnet. But I certainly appreciate a car when I look at it, and in terms of Land Rovers, I just think the appeal of a Land Rover is amazing. Yeah. And it's also that camaraderie of fellow Land Rover drivers, that when you kind of wave and nod, and
it's cool, isn't it? There's no other cars like that anymore.
Absolutely.
Really.
You're part of a club.
Would you say that there's things that you don't like about your Land Rover? Because there's typical Land Rover stuff.
Yeah, is it a fault or is it a characteristic?
It's a charm.
It's a charm, exactly. Yeah. It's Winnie, as this is Winnie. Winnie, she does have a fault, but I love her for them. One thing I found really bizarre is when I first got into her was how you kind of sit right up to the door when you're driving. Yeah. It's all right in summer because you can put your elbow out, but in winter you feel a bit kind of crushed in.
That's a thing specific to Land Rovers, thinking it. There's no other driving position where you do that.
But they are great fun, and I love being on the road in it. And, and she certainly gets the looks, and that's what's nice about it.
Yeah. What kind of reception are you getting?
She always stops people in the tracks. They always have to stop and they want to comment. They'll recommend where I could go, and it doesn't always result in a sale, but it certainly results in good conversation.
Yeah, goes a long way towards it.
Absolutely.
How much does a pizza oven weigh? What does the one run at?
The pizza oven, the conversion itself, weighs about half a ton.
Half a ton.
So there's half a ton in there before you actually start putting everything else in there for an event or for a day. Okay. So it's you can certainly feel it when you're pulling away. It doesn't fly the same way it used to. I can cruise comfortably at 60 miles an hour on the motorway, which is nice.
Yeah, that's good. You've got plenty of room because you've got a ton of load weight for the back, so you get a lot more dough and sauce and stuff in.
A ton of cheese and dough.
A ton of cheese, lots of cheese. That's what I do, specialise in. So, does it affect fuel economy, do you think?
To be completely honest, because it's my first Land Rover, I've got no comparison, so I don't quite know what an ideal miles per gallon is. Right. I mean, at the moment, I'm kind of getting around about 27 miles per gallon.
That's about going rate, I think.
Is that good?
That's not bad. That's just Land Rovers. They don't ever seem to go up or down, no matter what you're doing. So, don't measure it by miles per gallon. Do it by smiles per gallon.
Smiles per gallon, all the way.
Plenty more cheese there. That's more mozzarella for you. If you run out, I've got loads. Right, so how does a pizza oven work, and what are the benefits of a wood-fired pizza oven over other types of ovens?
Well, for example, this oven here, a wood-fired pizza oven, it will heat to around 500 degrees, which is kind of like twice as hot as your oven at home. So as a result of that heat, I can cook a pizza in about 2 minutes, and it's done. Okay. Any more than that, then it's well done. Very well done.
If I wanted to fit a pizza oven to my Land Rover, how would I go about that? How did they put a pizza oven in this?
Well, actually, I took it down to a company called Dragon Ovens in Colchester. Okay. And they do the conversion, and they do just bespoke builds for anybody who wants a pizza oven, whether they want one in the garden or they want one converted into a vehicle. And basically I just dropped Winnie off. 6 weeks later, went back and she was half a ton heavier.
Well, very good. Quite simple when you put it that way.
Absolutely, yeah.
How does a pizza oven work then? What's it constructed of?
It's various layers of materials. You know, you've got your base, which is like a fire brick or a concrete. Some pizza ovens like use like an aluminium or something like that, or a metal base. But the actual dome itself is basically layered with brick, sand, a metal brick. You know, so basically it really insulates that heat. It keeps that heat really contained. Right. So it doesn't radiate out into the cab or into you know.
It's not a good overnight heater then.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
It is.
Absolutely.
So does the wood fired add to the taste of the
you do
as well?
You get a slight smokiness,
okay,
a very very subtle smokiness, but you certainly it's certainly
but
there.
That'd be like a traditional Italian pizza, wouldn't it, like a wood fired?
Yeah, it would, but the wood has to be kiln dried.
Okay.
Because if it's kiln dried, then it will actually combust or it will radiate more heat. It will actually give more heat out than if it was damp. And then obviously with it being kiln dried as well, you don't get the smelt levels that you would if I just threw some branches in there or something. Do you know what I mean?
Just chuck whatever you can find.
People think you can, but you can't.
No. But that basically means you've got a mobile Italian restaurant.
Yeah, in essence, yeah. But, you know, so it's I've done a few weddings already, and you know, food markets and things like that. So it's you know, it's something different.
So, what do the pizzas taste like? The answer? These are the best pizzas I've ever had, by a long way. The crust is chewy on the outside, soft and fluffy on the inside, infused with a subtle but distinct flavour from the wood oven, and the sauce and toppings are delicious. Simon uses only the best fresh and traditional Italian ingredients, and the whole combination comes together to make a truly wonderful pizza. Let's see what the Sowman thinks.
That there is a woody taste to the pizza base, and a crispiness and a soft cheesy melt with the tomato. It's an incredible combination. It's woody and smoky, and that's the difference between this type of pizza and one that you buy from the pizza outlet.
Would you recommend it?
Very much so.
If people wanted to hire you, how would they go about doing that? Where can they find you on the internet and stuff?
Well, I'm called the Pizza Guy. My website is literally thepizzaguy.co.uk. Quite easy to remember. Because the reason I call myself the Pizza Guy is I thought no matter what I call myself, I can have this clever play on words or anything. But people always say, "Oh, that Pizza Guy down there." So I thought, well, I'll just put a code.
Just skip that middle bit out.
Yeah, exactly. Just cut the middleman out. Go straight to the point.
So thepizzaguy.co.uk, and you're on Facebook, and are you on Twitter as well?
I'm on Twitter as well. Yeah.
So check that out. Have a look, because you've put some pictures on of your Land Rover, haven't you, as well?
There's plenty of pictures on there.
Is available depending on bookings.
Yeah.
At any point.
Public, so if you're private hire.
Having a Land Rover festival, need some food that's Land Rover themed, have a look. If you enjoyed this video, check out our YouTube channel, where there's plenty more Land Rover videos for you to have a look at.